Hey, it's the Empire, Geoboxing Empire, backshot boxing. Now, man, you guys see it, man. Exhibit 1, Wilder murders an opponent. You see the blood on Wilder's shoe. It's horrific. Wilder went 16 rounds, man, sparring in preparation for Tyson Fury, man. He wants it back in blood. He's beating his opponents bloody. There's a body under the ring in his gym. And Wilder's going rounds, man. He's going rounds. Typically in a fight, in a championship fight, not typically, all time, it's mostly a 12-round fight, unless you got something weird in a contract. But if it's a championship fight, it's 12 rounds. Wilder is going 16 rounds, or so he thought. Wilder went so many rounds, he forgot how many rounds he was sparring. He actually went 18 rounds sparring these training partners. Now, it's wild stuff, man. It's funny because Deontay Wilder makes a post on Instagram. He talks about how he went 16 rounds and he shows the blood on his shoes from the destruction of his opponents he's beating up. And he thought he went 16 rounds, but Malik Scott corrects him in the comment section and says he went 18. Now, I'm going to get in some quotes from my boy Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Now, this is what he said, man. And I quote, Bronze Bomber, 16 rounds, it went down. Was understood, don't have to be explained. Hashtag Bomb Squad, hashtag Back in Blood, hashtag Everlast. And then Malik Scott corrects the dude, my boy the Bronze Bomber Wilder, and he says, clear his throat. First of all, it was 18 rounds, young champ. Please be more precise describing this dark room lifestyle. Hashtag that boy on another level. Hashtag blood, sweat, and tears. So there you guys have it, man. Wilder is getting so many rounds in, he's forgetting the rounds. The guy is training himself into insanity. Now, my boy Deontay Wilder, man, understand that, he's been training like a killer for this Tyson Fury Deontay Wilder fight. He's been training for a killer for the trilogy, and he wants it back in blood. It's wild when you go 18 rounds and you think you're going 16, but you win 18. When you're losing track of time, it's the beginning of going mad, going insane. That's the level of focus that Deontay Wilder has. And making Wilder wait for a fight with Tyson Fury, which Deontay Wilder was trying to fight Tyson Fury back last year in December, but that fight didn't happen via arbitration. The fight was supposed to happen, but Tyson Fury was trying to get out the case. Therefore, the fight was delayed until Deontay Wilder won the arbitration, and then the fight was supposed to happen in August. Didn't happen in August, and now it's going to happen in October. Making a man wait who's obsessed with trying to take your head off, literally. You're making a man wait when you destroyed his career, basically. Deontay Wilder has had a major career setback off this Tyson Fury loss. And, Deontay Wilder is the kind of guy who was talking about catching a body on his record. You're trying to make a man wait who wanted to kill people. Let's just keep it honest. He came on PBC and said how in boxing, two fighters can get in the ring, and if you happen to die, that's that. It's, hey man, guy can walk off scot-free as long as everything's on the up and up. If someone dies in the ring, that's just part of the job. Deontay Wilder wants to take off Tyson Fury's head, and this blood on his shoe proves it. Now, Deontay Wilder has one hit power, one hitter KO. He can hit you one time and stop you. We all know what it is. It's with the Alabama Slammer, the right hand. The right hand can put people to sleep, bar none. It's a one-hitter quitter. This blood on Deontay Wilder's shoe, I'm positive it's not from the right hand. It's from his left hook. Deontay Wilder has been training his left hook and his jab and his body shots furiously. He's been training it a lot. You see in his training camp. I'm positive Deontay Wilder was hitting guys with a straight right. They wouldn't really make it out. They'd be out cold. So this blood on Deontay Wilder's shoe, you got to preserve your sparring partners. So Deontay Wilder is beating him bloodily, most likely with his left hand. So that being said, man, Deontay Wilder is showing a new part of his game. He's outboxing guys. Tyson Fury has said on numerous occasions that Deontay Wilder is looking good in training, but when he goes and he lands his right hand, or he has Tyson Fury hurt, he's gonna go for the kill. And all the training he trained for, he's gonna go back to his old ways and go back to the one-dimensional style that is known as Deontay Wilder. when Wilder typically lands a power shot, he's a good finisher, but when he finishes you, he tends to get wild, tries to stop you. With that being said, Wilder was beating his training partners bloody, and he wasn't trying to stop. He didn't go wild on them. He continued to box them, right? If that was the case, he would have stopped every sparring partner he had, because Deontay Wilder is known for power, right? Now, Deontay Wilder obviously is working on boxing in his camp. He's working on moving around in his camp. He's working on his boxing ability in his camp, because he's training on what Tyson Fury done last. And what did he do last? Well, he walked Deontay Wilder down. He's preparing for that kind of Tyson Fury, because Tyson Fury, that's his best strategy to win the fight, because that was more effective than the first fight. The second fight was not as competitive as, the second fight was not as competitive as the first fight. Walking Deontay Wilder down had shown Deontay Wilder that he needed to work on some things. So that being said, yeah, man, Deontay Wilder is prepared for a come forward Tyson Fury. I always thought that was Deontay Wilder's kryptonite. I knew he couldn't find it inside, but Deontay Wilder, you know, he's ready for any and all things, because he's training with the pure boxer in Malik Scott, which is perfect for Deontay Wilder. This is exactly what Deontay Wilder needed, a pure boxer. You know, we're gonna see how Malik Scott trains Deontay Wilder, but understand, if Malik Scott delivers, his name will be definitely in the history books for sure, because Malik Scott, his career wasn't all that in the heavyweight division. He was known as a great fighter, but he never just got to the level. He didn't have the athleticism to really push his philosophy at the highest level, because understand that when Malik Scott is training Deontay Wilder, he's teaching him everything he knows, but he can do better. Deontay Wilder can do better because he has the athleticism to push his level to a whole nother level. You know, he can do what Malik Scott couldn't do. You know, they fought each other before too, if you didn't know. It was a great fight. It was one of Wilder's better fights, where you see, if you want to watch Wilder hurt somebody and then tend to go back to his old ways and get wild, watch that Malik Scott fight. That's a perfect example. When Deontay Wilder hurt Malik Scott, I think it was a left hook or straight right, I don't know, it's been a while, but he gets Malik Scott a corner and he starts going wild with hooks. It was crazy. It was crazy. He was throwing like overhand right hooks, and like Malik Scott basically just fell in the corner and said, "Nah, I'm not, no." And that was basically the end of the fight. It was a pretty exciting fight. You know, it's always fun when you see someone get hurt and you see someone go for the kill. You know, that's inherent in boxing. If you want to have a 100% knockout ratio, or like 98% knockout ratio like Deontay Wilder, you know, you're gonna have to go for the finish. And what better way than to daze somebody, have them confused, and then go with the craziest, you know, wildest punches ever, because you're not gonna be able to read that kind of stuff. You know, typically fighters train for precise hooks, precise straight rights, precise jabs. They don't train for a guy throwing haymakers from crazy, you know, for a knockout artist with basically 100% knockout ratio, highest knockout ratio in boxing history. When you have like a guy like that in front of you, you know, you have guys who rather just fall on the ground than they get hit by that kind of stuff, right? You have a lot of fighters, when you watch Deontay Wilder fight, if they don't get hit with clean, they duck the punch so low, they basically fall on the ground. But, you know, Deontay Wilder, man, he's looking good in camp, man. Exhibit A, his shoe, you know, CSI, they need to come in and investigate, see what's under the body, see what's under the ring, and see the bodies under there, man, because there's a couple under there for sure. These sparring, there's no doubt in my mind. There's no doubt in my mind. Anyway, man, let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Exhibit 1 from Deontay Wilder, the blood on his shoe. Murder, she wrote, man. Murder, she wrote. Let me know how you guys feel about it, though. Like, comment, subscribe. This is the Empire. Geoboxing Empire. Peace. Geoboxing Empire.